There was a time when buying canned tuna was as simple as grabbing whatever was on sale and calling it a day. You knew what you were getting: protein, convenience, something that wouldn't poison you. Those days are over. While you've been stocking your pantry, some truly questionable options have slipped onto shelves without anyone noticing. We're talking textures like wet cardboard, sodium levels that could mummify you, and fish that tastes like it was processed next to cleaning supplies. These companies are banking on you being too busy, too hungry, or too broke to read the label. So let's rank 5 canned tuna products from culinary punishment to actually worth keeping in your cabinet. Because life's too short to waste money on tuna that tastes like regret. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously questionable seafood. Number 5. StarKist Chunk Light Tuna in Water. Launched in 1942 as the brand's answer to wartime protein needs, StarKist has spent decades building name recognition that far exceeds its product quality. What you're actually getting is skipjack tuna packed in water with vegetable broth. The texture is disturbingly mushy, almost gelatinous. When you drain it, you're left with a compacted, stringy mass that falls apart the moment you touch it. The taste is aggressively fishy in the worst way. Not fresh from the ocean fishy, but forgotten in the back of the fridge fishy. There's a metallic undertone that coats your mouth. It feels artificial, like eating something designed to meet the minimum legal definition of tuna. Here's the thing about the nutritional profile. 70 calories per 2-ounce serving with 230 milligrams of sodium. That's 10% of your daily intake for protein that tastes like punishment. At $2.49 per 5-ounce can, you're paying for regret in a tin. And get this, customer complaints frequently mention an off-putting smell the moment you open the can, something between old gym socks and low tide. StarKist survives on brand recognition and aggressive supermarket placement. They're counting on you grabbing whatever's cheapest or has the cartoon mascot you remember from childhood, even if it tastes like something scraped off a dock. When the best thing you can say is, well, it's protein, you've created a problem, not a pantry staple. Number 4. Bumble Bee Solid White Albacore in Water. Bumble Bee entered the canned seafood market in 1899, positioning itself as a premium alternative. More than a century later, their solid white albacore feels like it's coasting on that reputation. This is albacore, which should mean better texture and milder flavor. The reality is a dense, dry tuna brick that requires aggressive fork work to break apart. It's not as mushy as StarKist, but it swings too far the other direction, creating chunks that feel like compressed sawdust. The flavor profile is bland to the point of offensive. There's a faint briny quality that proves someone remembered tuna comes from the ocean, but any complexity has been processed into oblivion. You end up drowning it in mayo or mustard just to give it personality. And get this, 100 calories per 2.6-ounce serving with 300 milligrams of sodium, 13% of your daily intake. At $3.29 per 5-ounce can, you're paying premium prices for mediocre fish. That's almost $1 more than StarKist for a product that's only marginally better. But here's where it gets tricky. Bumble Bee targets consumers who associate albacore with quality without actually delivering on that association. They're banking on you never looking past the solid white label to consider whether the texture and flavor justify the price increase. Bottom line, you're paying $3.29 to eat condiments with a vague fish aftertaste. If this is already saving you from a disappointing pantry purchase, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 3. Great Value Chunk Light Tuna in Water. Walmart launched its Great Value line in 1993 as a direct assault on name brands, promising identical quality at lower prices. With their Chunk Light Tuna, you're getting exactly what you'd expect. Functional, unremarkable, and priced to move. The product contains skipjack tuna in water with vegetable broth, the same formula as StarKist but executed with more competence. The texture lands somewhere in the middle, not as mushy as the worst offenders but not particularly firm either. It drains cleanly without leaving behind a gelatinous residue. The taste is aggressively neutral. There's a mild fishiness that proves this was once from the ocean, but nothing that would qualify as actual flavor. No metallic aftertaste, no overwhelming brine, just the bare minimum. Here's what makes this interesting. 60 calories per 2-ounce serving with 250 milligrams of sodium, 11% of your daily intake. At $1.78 per 5-ounce can, you're getting functional protein without financial regret. That's 71 cents less than StarKist for arguably equal or better quality. The real kicker is how many people report switching from name brands and realizing they'd been paying extra for nothing. What makes this particularly telling is how it exposes the markup game name brands are playing. Walmart isn't trying to revolutionize canned tuna. They're offering you a straightforward product at a fair price, which somehow makes them look brilliant. The most honest part? Great value doesn't pretend to be anything other than cheap, functional protein. When boring and transparent cracks the top 3, that tells you everything about the state of canned tuna. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2. Genova yellowfin tuna in olive oil. Genova has been operating since 1922, building a reputation among consumers who actually care what their canned seafood tastes like. Their yellowfin tuna in olive oil represents what happens when quality matters more than profit margins. This is where you start seeing actual fish texture instead of processed sludge. The yellowfin arrives in large, intact pieces. The olive oil keeps the fish tender and moist without drowning it. The chunks hold together with actual firmness. The flavor is clean and rich, with a mild sweetness from quality yellowfin and olive oil. No metallic aftertaste, no aggressive fishiness, just balanced, savory taste. The olive oil adds richness without overwhelming the natural flavor. The nutritional numbers: 120 calories per 2-ounce serving with 180 milligrams of sodium, only 8% of your daily intake. The extra calories come from olive oil providing healthy fats. At $3.49 per 5-ounce can, you're paying more but getting substantially more in return. And get this, people who switch to Genova rarely go back to cheaper brands, which tells you everything about the quality difference. But here's where it gets tricky with the ranking. Genova is excellent, genuinely good canned tuna that delivers on its promises. What keeps it from the top spot isn't a flaw, but rather whether yellowfin in olive oil is the right choice for every application. The real kicker is how Genova proves that premium canned tuna doesn't have to be a contradiction in terms. Bottom line, this is the tuna you buy when you actually want to enjoy your lunch instead of just surviving it. Number 1. Wild Planet Wild Albacore Tuna. Wild Planet launched in 2004 to prove that canned tuna could be sustainable, healthy, and actually taste good. 21 years later, their wild albacore stands as the gold standard. What separates this from everything else is the ingredient list: just albacore tuna and sea salt. No vegetable broth, no additives, no mysterious natural flavors. The fish is cooked once in the can, retaining moisture and natural oils. When you open it, the tuna sits in its own omega-3 rich oils rather than added water. The texture is everything canned tuna should be: large, firm chunks that flake apart naturally without crumbling into dust or turning to paste. There's actual meatiness that reminds you you're eating fish, not mystery protein. No gelatinous coating, no stringy bits, no compacted brick. The flavor is mild, clean, and rich with a subtle sweetness from quality albacore. None of the aggressive fishiness that plagues cheaper brands, no metallic aftertaste. It tastes fresh in a way that seems impossible for canned seafood. Here's the breakdown: 110 calories per 2-ounce serving with 200 milligrams of sodium, 9% of your daily intake. You're also getting 14 grams of protein and 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. At $4.99 per 5-ounce can, this is the most expensive option by a significant margin. But when you factor in the quality difference and sustainable fishing practices, the cost makes sense. Reviewers describe Wild Planet as a cult favorite. And get this, customers who try it say they can't go back because the quality difference is too obvious. The real kicker is Wild Planet's commitment to pole and line fishing methods that avoid bycatch. They're transparent about sourcing in a way that makes other brands look like they're running a cover-up. This proves the entire industry has been lying about what's possible. Every excuse about why canned tuna has to be mushy or bland gets obliterated when you realize those compromises were just cost-cutting dressed up as necessity. Bottom line, this is what canned tuna is supposed to be. The canned tuna aisle is a battleground between quality, cost-cutting, and marketing designed to make you think you're getting more than you are. At the bottom, you've got brands like StarKist surviving on nostalgia and shelf placement, selling products that barely qualify as food. At the top, Wild Planet is proving that premium canned seafood isn't a contradiction, just rare. The gap between the worst and best options on this list is massive, not just in price, but in every quality metric. You can save money and eat something that tastes like low tide at dawn, or you can spend a few extra dollars and actually enjoy your lunch. Sometimes cheaper means worse in every way that matters. Here's the final wisdom: don't trust the label alone. Brand recognition means nothing if the product inside tastes like regret. Check the ingredients, read reviews, and remember that the right tuna is the one that actually tastes like fish, not filler. Your sandwiches deserve better than whatever's on sale. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll stock your pantry, and drop a comment telling us which ranking you think we got wrong.